Your dreams are ruining your life. At least I think they are, if you clicked on this video. So you thought about it and you decided that achieving your dreams and goals and aspirations is the one thing that will make you happy. So you grind every single day for that moment you finally make it. But what no one tells you is that following that train of thought, you might actually be less happy, not more happy, because you'll be focused on the wrong things. So how can we focus on the right things and still achieve our goals? In this video, I'm going to explain this crazy yet simple change that I did that worked for me and how you can use it too. And all you need to do is read this manga. I'm going to explain to you why your dreams won't give you what you want, but I can't say it directly, okay? The manga is called Hajime No Ippo by the Japanese mangaka George Morikawa. It tells a story about how a timid Japanese school kid becomes one of the most feared boxers in the country in hopes of using boxing to find a deeper meaning and purpose in his life. Well, like I said at the beginning, he's just a kid. Working on something new is exhilarating. Your once wasted energy is now focused on a single avenue, and for some people, it gives them a sense of purpose and belonging they've never felt before. I mean, before Ippo even started boxing, this guy's life, it fucking sucked. He had no social life because he had to help his mom with the fishing business, and even when the bullies called his mom a bitch, all this guy could do was mean mug from afar. Can you imagine that? And this same guy becomes the national Japanese featherweight champion. So, how did he do it? Well, there's two reasons. He finally found something he wanted to improve with. And with supportive gym mates and a deep respect for his coach, it brought out that last bit of strength every single time to get that comeback KO. Secondly, he was using boxing as a medium to find the answer to a question I'm sure a lot of us had. What does it mean to be strong? I mean, why wouldn't he have his answer already? Look at the man's achievements. He beats the fastest man in Japan, the speedster Takumi Saiki. He beats the infamous Grim Reaper, Ryo Mashipa. He even beats the King of the West, the Naniwa Tiger, Sendo Takashi. The only person he loses to, in fact, was a 28-year-old man who just came out of retirement. And you can't blame him for that, okay? At this point, the guy had a wife and kid. You can't beat that strength at the age of 20 years old. Just can't do it. And after all of that, he still doesn't find his answer. So he keeps telling himself all he has to do is keep winning and keep training. And one day, he'll leave the ring with his answer. And that's what we all thought was going to happen until he lost again and again. And then he retires without ever finding the question to his answer. There's a chapter in here that's so relatable, it makes me shiver to think about. Picture this scene. 4 years into boxing, Ippo leaves the ring for the last time, satisfied with what he's been able to accomplish as being the 5th best featherweight boxer in the world. But he can't help but ask his mentor for advice, the one that saved him from those bullies all those years ago. He's like, hey man, I heard what you said when I was fighting, and you knew all along, didn't you? The reason why I lost. And you would think that being a good sportsman and moving on with your loss quickly is somewhat admirable, but what Ippo did is something everyone has done. He rolled over and accepted his fate. If I had gotten salty and mad, the coach would have been pissed. And Takamura was like, yeah, he would have been pissed. He would have scolded you and told you to get over it, but he would have been happy. Because no matter how pathetic it sounds, you whining about it shows you truly felt like you haven't lost. And you're willing to keep fighting. And if you admit it, then it's over. For a man to stand up again, he needs one thing: excuses. So in the sense of the story, that's why Takamura drew a line for Ippo, a metaphorical line where you can only cross if you have the determination to handle the truth. But the truth for Ippo is that he's been lying to himself this whole entire manga. And that's just it. Ippo isn't determined enough to go that step further. Just wanting to see how far he can go isn't cutting it anymore. That's it. That's the kicker. That's why chasing your dreams ruins you. You lie and you cope that this end goal you have in sight will give you life's answers and the peace that you seek. But just like Ippo, what you want won't come from that dream. Because what Takamura was trying to tell Ippo was that his answer that he's been trying to find for the past 1,300 chapters isn't found within the ring, but outside the ring. But, why is that? Well, even though Ippo might not know it, he's not seeking physical strength, but mental. The strength to stand up for himself. The strength to say what's on his mind. The strength to express his feelings when he wants to. He wants to build a strong character. And for the span of this whole manga, he hasn't progressed with that at all. No amount of boxing or training is going to change. He hasn't addressed his inner traumas. So then, what's the solution? As cringy as it sounds, Ippo doesn't have to fight other people, but himself. If you truly want to find that peace and contentment in life, you have to face your inner traumas. A common misconception in the anime/manga community is that the physically strong characters are subsequently the strong characters. And what I mean by this is their level of mental strength, their level of character, how well fleshed out they are as a person. Can they withhold their integrity in the toughest of situations? It's an illusion to think that your capacity to hurt people is in turn your strength of character. Make it more relatable to me and you, your skill and your achievements doesn't always equate to your contentness and self-respect. When I see certain moments in manga that I deem as true strength, Shanks doing nothing as he lets bandits beat him up, Moomin Rider standing up against the Fish King, the I have no enemies speech. Ironically, these are examples of people enduring pain, not inflicting it. So then, why? It's not the action, it's the character behind the action. I could still see there was a distinct difference between him and like Takamura, Sendo, or Volt. The value of strength increases when it comes from something internal. You have a degree of respect for yourself to have the courage to look within yourself and find out what you really want. But it's not that simple. To look within yourself, you will see past traumas, what makes you tick, what makes you run away from things. Things are probably the most scariest feelings you've ever had in your entire life. And that's what I think the story of Ippo needs to delve into now. It's never really been mentioned, but the death of his father had to have some kind of heavy impact on why he's always looking for what it means to be strong till this day in the manga. And it's only through Ippo being willing to look at himself honestly will he find what he truly wants, be able to respect himself. Strength is the courage to look at those issues dead in the eye and still press forward. Strength is the character trait that is garnered by facing inner demons and almost having an invisible coating of confidence, knowing because of my ideals and who I am and who I strive to be, I will overcome. And it's this strength that you have that then and only then will you be able to truly strive for your ambitions in life.
Yo.